permeates. For the internet, with the growth of the advance of the internet, even from the equipment, probably from the very smart, after the with the advent of these gadgets, smart gadgets, and these social media, being last but not the least, very semi-structured. The inputs and the data and the provenance needs to be properly incorporated and used properly and effectively. Gartner, about 3 months ago, from the end of the February, what he did, he juxtaposed various data, and simply it wasn't only Oracle along with other vendors, the large data, actually key values, storage databases, actually a report was delivered. So it wasn't only about the Oracle and other, the Cloud Era, MongoDB, and many other certainly inputs, and the data were sort of compared, not juxtaposed. For the analysis, was talking about the data management system, and various where the storage is an integral part, or it is a small part, could also be out there. So one of the causes, indeed, it's not only about the correlations, and it also has analytics text, or the semi-structured data could also possibly utilized or desired by the clients, which has been on the rise as a demand. Another, the data variety. Actually, there are 3 categories that are effectively used, and what we are saying that it's a sub-5 systems that we imply over 34 terabytes, or something over 40 terabytes. Is going to be a huge database architecture during the particular time period. Indeed, it's an exuberant figure. It's a huge number. But now, what about the Oracle? Over this Oracle data management, I have a couple of remarks to make. If you look at the top part, we are seeing the execution part. Indeed, which is about a daily KPI, tracked KPIs, quality performance indicators. So what is this? On any campaign, how many people were reached out? So what was the success rate over that, if you will, the campaign? The questions and all that execution part is the part that we're trying to find out the answers to the questions addressed. So there are many databases. That's what we have been receiving from the documents, that the data is retrieved, and there are many other data that we have been retrieving that yet constitute our database. But actually, there's an innovation that underlies these structures. That innovation is indeed a new trend. Is there the new pattern that we are trying to calculate or gauge it or tally, or is there any correlation that we're trying to find out, which will actually consequently will become a very sticking point if we have certainly discovered a new pattern, and if it needs to be put into good use, definitely we will have to proactively be using these systems. And behind every single, you can see this box, or the products of we can see right now certain Oracle products for any data, or for the hot up. There are more than one solutions that are available, and these are the solutions that you are seeing on the screen. A bit earlier, what I explained, behind the common sense architecture, actually this Oracle that stands on the left side, we have, as you can see, read in English, the video and architecture options, and on the right side we have Oracle database and the various options that could be used under its environment. On the left side, what we are seeing, the proposed the suggested, along with the clouds, we have the partners. There are more than 50 the harder distributions. That is one of the harder distributions, actually followed with other distributors. But now these are the specific set partners, And in terms of the integration, we have other coupled amenities and products, and this will definitely streamline your database, and at least it will streamline the immediate analysis on the spot. At least the very integration indeed can effectively be maintained, and hence both databases can be effectively worked out and could be incorporated into the report by the virtue of the available technologies at hand. I will drill down into technologies, but I will go over very quickly. So the big data is an architect, is an appliance, if you will, and Oracle, on top of the Oracle database, we can see the elastic configuration along with multi-rack connectivity that includes the cloud distribution system. The very capacities, as you can see on the screen, has been laid out very clearly. This elastic configuration, we talk about the seamless growth with the disk capacity. I'm not trying to find that and locate on the screen. JSON XMI, the very dossiers can be easily stored, and they can be squeezed out, and more actually larger data can somehow be incorporated, permeated into the system. What we ask, there are certain tests that we have carried out, and I will definitely share actually during the course of my speech and many other sniper events, and more data can definitely be included into this big data appliance or architecture, which is quite possible. Indeed, based on the client feedbacks, either could I expand this system? Is it possible? Is that a closed system? In that rack we have 6 nodes in this rack, so we can gradually extend this right up to 16 nodes, but 18. Well, actually, 18 more racks without the hardware inclusion, without the connection. It could, yes, definitely be extended up to 18 nodes into this rack, as you can see on screen. It's up to 1.5 petabytes. Yes, indeed, can be included up to 1.5 petabytes. And this is we're seeing the big data appliance. Unlike the different products, the big data is not just an empty rack, it's not an empty hardware. It certainly includes various bundled amenities, and next to it, it comes in certainly in bundle. And cloud enterprise, it comes with the distribution, what includes the cloud manager. So it's something that can the resource manager arranging system with the variety of the resource management systems can be easily maneuvered. On top of it, there's analytical, if you will, pure in-memory engine in Pola is available. There's an HPQ value storage that your data can very quickly be accessed through this semi-structured system, and then you could do auditing, so which applications could be reached out to which systems, which is in other words a navigator tool. And in the case of this disaster scenario, so this very data can be essentially transformed into another cluster system. As a matter of fact, it's been in our life, and these are not the less valuable as some clients, as users. There's a very similar. They upload for 2-year time, the hot data, if you will, it can be stored, but the previous data probably based on this legal requirements and the regulations, it can be definitely challenged. And one of which examples is the Hadoop itself. The one client and his previous the data of 3 or 4 years history, it can be uploaded with the semi-structured data, and over the various reports could be the data. That very data could be challenged. But simply, it's not the only stake, and there are also many other tools. For example, on the HPS or in others database. If you actually would like to forgo the usage, there are many other cloud systems that you could monitor other tools along the path. There are many optional uses. Actually, our users. First and foremost, people do not make the investment in Hadoops. Actually, for 20 years now, Hadoops, and of course, probably there's an existing database, and probably with an operational system that are available out there, and what they could maintain and Hadoop, if necessary, the data could be transformed, and along with it regular database, we have many integrators, which are the optional ones. In the very first scenario, the big data connect package, as a matter of fact, is made up of various actually data. If there are actually valid data through the Hadoop, and if you actually catch any of those patterns, if you decide on certain databases, an SQL actually Oracle connector could actually transfer the data to for Hadoop. Actually, the very data could be copied with the Oracle, but there are many other scoop of Flume technologies could be easily utilized. But what we really prefer is just Oracle SQL Connect for Hadoop. On top of which, we should probably this the transformation loading, the tool that could be also used for within these database. This if the transformation is required, this is the preferred suggested tool, and within it, it could also be possibly used in one of its extensions. If the technology could actually be used with the SQL generator without taking it externally, transformation can be maintained. So this is very much applicable, remains true for the Hadoop as well. With that, we're using its engine, it could be easily transformed. You can make your calculations properly, and your ETL can easily be maneuvered, can be handled by the virtue of the same utility or the tool, if you will. So there are many customers using it. On top of it, there is an art engine that is effectively used by many. On an academic level, art isn't used quite effectively, isn't very rampant, if you will. But in our own discipline, for the hard surface, and various security agents, actually many security agencies on various banks, yes, we are making very serious investments on the more advanced and based on the various advanced analytics. The many clients that really want to use this, and indeed you could use the art advanced analytics for the option, and possibly if you would like to write a script, and for the developers as well, and we have an SQL option for the Fortran or the Python type languages. Very rife script writers could easily SQL option that is available. So on top of this, besides these connectors, probably buzzwords could be easily actually questions or challenged, if you will. So one of the most leading technologies is big data SQL technology that actually, Oracle, and the Oracle database, one of the most, it could be easily questioning Oracle machinery, that the operation principle, the very outcome, the output is being sent to a higher level. Always the most valid, the only and valid, if you will, the data will be retrieved through the filtration. So it's filtered, and in a network, all the required and necessary data will bubble to the surface, if you will. The same technology remains true for the Hadoop, with some minor changes, distinctions. XML, Parquet, JSON type dossiers could be combined. Then after the same technology could be backed over the same Hadoop technology. So what it actually makes to the Oracle, you have the diagrams and tables over Hadoop. We can't really label them as tables, but all your developments or the work could be easily recognized in Hadoop, and in your database, any request, any inquiry could be sent. It's possible to be sent, and all the data input sent by Oracle database could be actually developed over Hadoop. A bit later, I'll drill down into details.